In a previous video, I had a look at Flux Tools for depth and canyon models. This time I'll take you through the powerful in-painting and out-painting workflows. Similar to control nets, but much simpler and produce great flux quality results. The out-painting also lets you expand your scenes in any direction and to customize resolutions. You can get these tools from their Hugging Face site, which I'll provide in the links below. Black Shark, who created this model, just call it Flux Fill rather than in-painting. You'll need to download this dev model. It is very large as it replaces the original dev model, as it is fully trained to work specifically on filling workflows. This model can be saved into the Comfy UI models in the unit folder down here. If you don't have a VAE model downloaded, you can also download this one called AE Safe Tensors and put it in your VAE folder. In the same way, if you don't have the text encoders, download the ClipL and the T5 FP16 Safe Tensors, or the FP8 if you want to use less memory at the expense of quality. This will be pasted into the clip folder. Over in Comfy UI, make sure from the manager to update and restart for this work. Once refreshed, we can load it with a provided template rather than starting from zero. So from Comfy Anonymous examples page, you can find the in-painting flux example and simply drag this image into the canvas to load it. It uses the standard K sampler, but the two main new nodes are the differential diffusion node, which basically is a function that allows the in-painting to be context aware, so improves the composition of the in-painted area, making it look more natural. So always add this for the in-painting workflow. In addition, add the in-paint model conditioning, where the masking and the image plug into. And then here is the standard flux guidance. Now make sure you have the right models loaded in. For the dual clip loader, first model is a ClipL Safe Tensor, and the second will be either the FP16 or the FP8 Safe Tensor. And these will be in the clips folder. Then the type will be flux. The main diffusion model will be the flux fill. For the VAE, we'll use the AE.Safe Tensor, which is also in our VAE folder. Now for the image selection, I will start with an interior scene and step by step in-paint various parts to replace and add. The mask regions that you want to generate over, right-click the image and select Open in Mask Editor. We'll have this intuitive interface where you can adjust your brush size and paint the area you want to change. Recommend painting the area slightly larger than the object you want to cover, so that it blends in better with the context. Then prompt what you want to generate in that space and what the context is. So an oil painting of a landscape in a modern living room. The flux guidance controls how much the text affects the image generation. These work better at larger values, such as 10 and 30, but the default 30 works very well. Over in the K sampler, I will increase the steps to 30 to increase the quality, and I'll keep the sampler name as Zula and the scheduler as normal. Then I'll generate. I've gotten exactly what I asked for. A painting blended perfectly into the wall. Even the shadows have been incorporated, which is excellent. And the square is exactly covered from the mask. I'll add a RG3 compare node to compare these images more easily. You can add these from the Comfy UI Custom Nodes Manager on the RG3. I would then connect the original image to the first slot and the generated to the second. Let's say we are happy with this, but we would like to add some other details, such as objects on the table. You can right-click the generated image and copy to clip space. And go back to the load image, right-click and select Paste from clip space. We can now add onto this image. So open it in the Mask Editor, and in the same way, brush over the area you want to add new objects to on this table. I'll make a simple prompt change of flowers in vase on table and press Generate. Great. We now have a perfectly blended vase full of flowers on the table. You can swipe left and right to see the changes of before and after. Now let's edit this one more time. Let's say we want to change the material of the structure up here. We can copy this image to the clip space and paste into the load image. When you open it in the mask editor, you can roughly cover the area you want to change, like so. I'll prompt wooden beam above window. The generation has kept the same shape, but changed the material. It has added a modern wooden horizontal strip detailing, since I wasn't specific on the type of wood, but has integrated it well. Now that you understand how this works, with multiple interior changes, I will try in-painting one more image, but with an exterior scene, completely replacing a building. I'll open this in the mask editor and mask the entire building in the desert. I'll prompt vaguely with a traditional stone house with flat roof. The generation has completely replaced the building. It is looking very desolate, but it is stone. Let's try another with a modern concrete house. Now this is a very sculptural house, and it has been blended into the desert, but if you want to be more specific, we should add some more details into the areas. I'll leave that for now. Finally, I'll cover out painting, as it uses the same workflow, but with only one extra node. A good example to do this on is to have a building of a city and expand out the generic building context, like the image here. The node we need is called pad image for out painting. The load image connects to this, and the mask goes into the in-painting model conditioning. This works simply by specifying how many pixels in which direction you want to outpaint. So here I'll expand by 200 pixels on the left, up and right. The prompt will need to describe the entire scene, that it blends well. Here I will type a tower in a modern city with sky in the background. Generate. The results are great. It matches the original image and expands out the sky and city in a natural manner. It is a bit like the Photoshop generative expand, but it is free and easy to add onto other workflows. I'll try another image with a building, a plaza, and try to increase the size to have more trees. Simple text like a tower in a park even work. Now after this generation, you can see the trees have been expanded and link on smoothly to the sides. The in-painting and out-painting workflows are definitely worth adding to your image generation processes, especially as a free alternative to Photoshop AI. So try experimenting by combining these workflows together, and you can add upscaling to this as well. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.